As we are once again live upon the internet. Let's make sure that I am actually in all ways, with bitrates going places and everything being retitled and set to publics and stuff like that. Yeah, let's even get on live chat and let's see if audio maybe is broken. It isn't. Yeah, let's jump in. What would be an easy pick here? Actually, let's go with her, who has a glass red, and then also which crits more? I have no idea. Let's actually see if this is grabbing the...
Safe area detected.
What would be a build? I mean, we can look at the build collection pictures of these. Like, yeah, if we take a Obliterate Striker versus... Although, yeah, Glass Red should just have more crit damage than a Glass Red. Because what's the difference here, for instance? If we go Body Shot, crit, 234, 671, 291, 776. I mean, both of them are basically... this one, yeah, this one would be higher. Also here as well is getting pushed by this, of course. How about we go with... maybe a rifle version. Looking for something that has... oh, actually, maybe Umbra. Actually, Umbra would be a good one here. Of course. Yeah. Actually, that would be the poster child here. So I will leave out the glass red, but then yeah, we need to be in character 3 for Umbra. Let's do that.
Consumption of drugs and alcohol.
Then we'll take Obliterate stats, basically. As yeah, we're gonna set up a little spreadsheet thingy first, together with some
Entering safe area.
basically creating a visual thing, and then we're gonna go and record all that. First off, let's set up with... I should grab a Lexington as well. We'll set them both up with Lexi. It's on character, isn't it? Because it will be after the Kingbreaker. Who has the Lexington? Oh, she does actually. That solves that. Yeah, let's make a normal striker. Obliterate striker. With a coyote.
High standard of personal hygiene and cleanliness. Thank you for your...
Let's use this as our stat base here. Let's also get Lexington base. Over here and over here. And this is 100 plus 30 plus this number with that. That is a thing. Okay. And then here it's the same for this one, although this is plus 40. So what would be the crit chance, crit damage here? We can just take this one. So 6151. Actually, let's do it like this. That's 10. Kind of 6. And then is 141 plus 10. Koi, not boy, koi. 15 to 25. It's gonna be the same for both. So this can just go away. And then yeah, we have 20, 100. That's it, right? Yeah. Now let's go to Umrah. So let's put this to 25. So, wait, this is set up at 47. That seems very weird. Oh. Oh no, actually no, this is crit chance, right? Oh, the muzzle is crit damage. That makes sense. So I should make this killer for in a minute. Ready? Yeah, so this one's 52. This is 153 plus 10. And then 25. Then 21. So this is striker. Sure, yeah, let's also use this as a moment to compare both of these. This is UI. Actually, let's since it's striker to SB. Okay, that should be out of there as well if we're not doing any stacks. And so the vigilance would be there, the thingy wouldn't. Yeah, let me have a quick peek over here. As I was in my own world. Oh, and Nader Kitty, and thanks for the raid so much there. Hope you had a good stream. I caught a little bit of the end of you guys running incursion there. I was just setting up and just... I was kind of lurking over there. Oh, actually, I see. This already did it as he came in with it. And yeah, hope you had a good stream and hope you had some fun. And yeah, welcome in Raiders. Over here, I'm setting up for just a thing we're gonna record in a little bit about about Killer and how we can kind of look at it at being more than basically the 60 crit chance that we kind of sometimes consider it as. And also how crit damage will kind of affect actually activation amount. But yeah, welcome in everyone. Still a little raspy as I just took a nap. So I kind of couldn't sleep, and then I slept for a few hours and then woke up and then slept again for a few hours, which is really bad for the sleeping pattern, but and yeah, welcome in everyone. Indeed. Oh yeah, I do check up on the chat here and there. Oh yeah, sometimes I'm kind of in my own world for a bit. Busy crunching numbers, yeah. I mean, as Tootsie says, quite often ends up happening either this, especially lately. We've been basically doing this a lot and doing a lot of upgrades to the build collection. Although that part is mostly done, and I'm kind of looking forward to going back to writing guides. Actually, that's kind of. But yeah, first off is going to be getting a few videos ready. I mean, Killer is a really good talent, and well, most of us are at this point. We're running that as well. There, we're just setting up having a striker and an UI, an Umbra set up to their max stacks. So yeah, so we're getting. It's also still annoying that this is 100 stacks. This could have just been 10 stacks, and that's what have made this part much easier to burst. Because everything, although well, the 1 stacks of course and stuff, is kind of also matters because that's how we gain it. But yeah, all of this could have been in numbers kind of reduced. That made more sense. And yeah, so we're gaining. Well, let's first get this in. All of this is 50 anyway, or 50. It's gonna have different reloads. It's actually the striker reload from here 2.2. Although actually I wouldn't mind having a better number than that. Let's actually load up a striker. So knowing that actually on the stat screen it still shows it with like 1 digit instead of the 2 that it does here. 2 flat. What is this? Oh yeah, that's for the farmers. Yeah, so 2 flat. Okay. And on this it would be, although let's do it like this, is 850 times 1.15. Which gets us the same number. And then actually we're going to use that here as well, but then of course with a different number. Yeah. RPMs first. So how much should we gain nowadays? 0.4 per stack for 100 stacks, right? So 40%. So this is a 1. Although actually no. So this is first a 1.00, and then this is a 1.40. And with the Lexington, we have a 1.77. Okay. Something is off here. Oh, we don't have the crit in there. That's what we don't have. So we had 100 or so. 120 crit damage, right? Yeah. So is this, and then plus 0 here, and then plus 120 here. Actually check if we get matching numbers. So 217,199, 201 in game, which is close enough. Oh, actually, I need full stack. Also needs to be a mid-range guy. 217, 864, 864. It's a little bit higher. Leaving something out, forgetting about something. This 10 is also in here, right? Yeah. What is our stats actually? What is this one? I'll show you. I should let that decay fully. So 153, that's also what we have on this. That makes sense. Where is this off? Let's actually try the stack lines. So 217, 571, that lines up perfectly. It is just 120, right? Crazy. Yeah, it's 100 stacks of 1.2. Oh, there's actually even with the headshot in there. Although, well, this number would be without headshot. This number would be with. There's a different weapon there, of course. Let's try again for a sec. Let's make sure we're actually fully charged up. So 831. Oh, well, no, now it's showing the right number. What did I have a second ago? Was. Oh, wait. No, I wouldn't have killer active because we're an invulnerable enemy. Okay. Gremlins. There's always a bunch of gremlins. So we do line up with that. 70, not 60. What do you mean? So you got 4. No killer. So the thing is more killer. While it is just basically on kill, it's that's the amounts. Like I'm more talking about how much it activates. So the thing is that to like put it into simple things, and is actually what we're gonna kind of calculate here against each other, is like, let's say, you know, this black represents your normal hits. Your crit is likely like triple that usually. So you have, you have, let's say, make this red here. We're gonna actually kind of make a graph for it in a sec. basically 3 of the normal shots have to be can hit and kill that enemy, or you can have 1 crit that will just go over that, like what the health of the enemy is. So the crit actually has more chances just because it's a bigger number, which kind of needs a little bit of visualization. And that's also the reason that kind of it activates more than 60%, and especially once you have killer going, it's actually kind of easy to keep it going, just because now your crits are even larger, and you would have to hit, you would have to, if it's basically a crit, non-crit, you would most of the times just hit a crit, basically, just because it is a larger number. And then here even it's, of course, we have 60% even. So 60% for a much larger number. That's also why we're kind of putting these two together against each other, a striker and then an Umbra, which is kind of getting affected, of course, by by crit more, or having more crit basically once it's stacked. Let's actually, let's take this same as well. Put that here. So full stacks plus K plus Kellogg's. It's more of a just, we're not going to really tailor our builds around that or anything, but it's just to have that discussion, basically, or just make people understand that. But killer is even kind of better than we even can, like, if you wouldn't think about this, you would think it would just be 60%, but yeah. I'm good to sleep patterns, yeah. Although I try to a little bit. I mean, also, you have to sometimes do real life stuffs. Like tomorrow, actually. Tomorrow I'll be away with the full day, so. These are all with DTH and Headhunter stacking. The DTA and DTH and Headhunter are just super weird. is basically it. If you want to calculate it out that way, generally I just avoid having DTH or DTA there. Because yeah, it seems to kind of actually consider the enemies that you have hit in that calculations, and how much percentage wise they had armor and health, which, yeah. But yeah, usually the first shot, you can just calculate that, and it will. It's mostly just the cap shot. But trying to get matching numbers with in game when there is DTA in play and you're shooting at like elite is something that, yeah, I've never even also never really got into work. Information what's higher. I think I can get from Changa with DTH instead of DTAG. The next shot is going to be higher now. It depends on if it's a cap shot or if it's the second, like if it's a non-cap shot, because it's only really the cap that gets affected by that. Because the second shot is just the first shot, like that it doesn't do the cap thing like with the second shot. Yeah, it's basically the first shot and then times the like if the bar isn't full, basically it's basically the first shot times, well, depending on if you're perfect or not, the same shot times the 1.25 or 1.50, depending. They're out of cover, yeah. Or maybe does it store that in there? Usually I thought it didn't. Oh yeah, we could try, we could mess around with that, but somewhere in the future. Maybe that because yeah, actually on the marksman one that I'm kind of basing this on is yeah, there was no DTH or DTA. Like with intent. They weren't there. But yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be too hard to just yeah parse stats and see if that is actually the case, just range wise. DOA jail. That's the weapon detect DTH, yeah. I mean, yeah, it would require a bunch of tests. Although, well, it's pretty easy to test. Just even at the range, it should give you the results just using against a normal enemy. Because if they differ in their second shots, but then that would just mean that DTH is kind of double dipping or something, or so or more. Because normally the second shot is just that, but yeah, I could look into it, or well, I mean, you can do it yourself. Basically, it's just if that second shot is higher on DTH, then you already have your answer, kind of. But yeah, let's finish off these ones. So what I especially want here is, let's actually get this. So is this number divided by this number. Let's copy that and put that here. Okay. Let's make these that big. So let's put them in the middle. Okay. Oh, and this needs killer in it as well, which is this plus 70. There we go. And then yeah, now we kind of have to decide how we're gonna visualize this. Is kind of the thing, was that's what I wanted to. Because we could just take this with the else and just actually, yeah. It's our chart. Actually, no, it wouldn't be this. Actually, it would be these numbers. Yeah, so item can't be looted. Why not? Short item can be deleted. So it would be this, actually, and then yeah, normally it would just, even if they're separated like that, it would just still. Why is it? Okay, so Mm. K2. Oh wait, if I select them, what happens if I select them the other way? That's likely the thing, isn't it? There we go. Because yeah, we want that labeled. That's like there. Yeah, let me catch up here for a second. I was hoping you knew. Yeah, Headhunter is not my area of expertise at all. Like it's the one that I know the least. Doubles in. Yeah, that'll be an interesting thing to maybe check up into. But then, yeah, I would actually have to like double dip in some way to be higher than the dtalk, because dtalk would just be in that shot anyway. It doesn't not show up in the non-capped shot, basically. And it is Pochinki. But doesn't measure up. I see what you did there. I'm not eyeless, so I see what. Yeah. I'm also not. Let's have this over here. Maybe a little bit bigger. Now I would want. So actually, let's see if we can make this work. Although I wouldn't be able to rotate it there, would I? But I can if I do that here, actually, right? I rotate them here. Yeah. That works out. Yeah, actually, let's do that. Oh, not what I wanted. Wait, why wouldn't that just plop it in here? What? You would think that would just go in there. Wait, that's how I've always done it. How does that not work here? Hmm. Okay, so that's how we get them in. But then let's do it differently. Or do we really need all 6? No. Kind of depends how I want to say the story, basically. Let's come back in. This game was like, you've been AFK for too long. Get out. Stop using server resources, which they're not right.
Safe area entered.
Shut up, Isaac. I mean, yeah, basically it would be best if we had all 6, right? And then we have that as an option. Yeah, let's get all 6, and it'll take a minute. So let's cut that a little cleaner. So why am I starting at the top where it's kind of harder? Just start at the bottom. Okay. And just go one by one. Can I rotate them here, actually? Never tried. We edit, right? What I could do is actually even in the table, just put it on its side. I could also, yeah. Although I want that table to be that way, and I want this to be this way. So. No, not particularly in there, but then we'll have to just do it in here. It's still not, yeah, it just doesn't want to work. Guess it's because of that image in cell thing that they have as an option there. Did that go? Cutting off the very top of it. Let's not. Stop that. Insert image. Last two. Yeah, it'll make sense in a second why I'm doing it this way. And we're putting kind of the time in there now. But I just need this as kind of a visual tool to kind of visualize what I'm gonna speak about. Okay. Yeah, nobody's testing. Yeah, catch your rand. And neither hit man. Given 3 weeks, anything happens. I mean, few scouts came out. You missed triple XP. And Hollywood. But more is on the horizon, of course, with 5 times XP and reanimated in 2 weeks. But there's not going to be any like major changes really until we get to Brooklyn. But yeah, stepping away for a little bit can just be a good palate cleansing. Let's actually see if when I go here, does this still kind of show? Yeah. Well, yeah, so we can have that be over there. Just to check that. Because let's put kind of like a red bar here. Okay. That's also kind of all I need for this. So that setup is done. Let's get ready to record our video. So I should make a folder already. So 0109. I haven't done a rambling talk in like a while, I feel. And this one is going to be more of a rambling talk than just an in-depth look kind of thing, because we're just going to kind of put the idea out there. And then also, because in the past I've tried to although yeah, in the end I kind of know now that was that was never gonna work. Actually, I was trying to find a good way to actually maybe get a percentage number on it, but honestly, I have no good idea how we would even. In the end, like I was like, I'll find a way, right? We'll just add this ratio in somehow of 60, and then yeah, but no, that. Although actually, that idea still kind of stands. I just don't know how to implement it well. So it would just basically be on top of that is that we're hitting 4. Other thing is you also kind of need to pick health number here, because it really depends on that as well. And that was kind of the thing. I didn't want to go the time to kill rat, basically, where we're picking something that is a fixed point, because that's just same as time to kill in Division. That makes no sense. So I know what date the DLC will release. It is slated kind of for March. That's when this season is kind of ending. March has also been canonically, or in the past has always been the time of Division releases. Division 1 released in March. Division 2 released in March. Won't need released in March. So likely March. Unless, of course, no promises, because they have made no promises. And I'm not I'm not gonna make promises. It's not my shit. But yeah, likely March after this season. If they were gonna delay it, I feel they would have already told us so again. So likely March, because it will be clear around now already that if you're not gonna make it, like 3 months ahead is pretty. You'll know 3 months ahead. Definitely. Yeah, so this is all we'll take then. Yeah. And let's actually have these 2 build pictures at the ready as well. Just so we can use them to show. Actually, did we hit the same numbers here? Oh, that's with killer active 947. We don't. Why don't we? What part of me is set up different that we're not hitting those numbers here? Is the 813 correct? No. Is that with short range coyote? No, it's mid range. Yeah, why aren't we lining up here? Also, why is these numbers so much lower than what we have there? With full stacks and killer active. Oh, it's on armor, of course. Yeah, so this was 100. Oh, actually, this should be 0. 813, 947. Okay, yeah, actually, good that we figured that out there. Does it matter here much? No, because it's just the same number. But actually, the headshot will matter for this, right? Although, well, it's the same for all of them. Although, the higher number will ratio less, right? Actually, let's try that. Oh no, the ratio still stay the same. Shouldn't they change? No, because basically the headshot is, yeah, it's just adding in underneath. Okay. So that's all fine. Let's then maybe keep this at 100. Or at 0, I mean. So we have BTH in there as well. Okay. Yeah. Let's go get set up somewhere to start recording. I want to apparel up in some way. What is this even? Oh, this is the Umbra set. Actually, yeah, we're using Umbra. Let's use the Umbra set. Might as well. And the question, as always, is where do we want to do the intro? Let's actually do it in Coney. With the ducks in the background, maybe. That's it. Let's go get set up there. We'll do the intro, do the rambling, and then conclusion it, and then put it in the bag. Actually, and in the background as well, kind of thinking about. Just gonna set it to heroic here. Let's actually run Umbra here for a sec.
Hostile radio intercepted.
Bam. Division spotted by the arcade. take care of it. I'm going after Keener, and the last thing I need is some other fucking agent in my way.
Understood, ma'am.
Hey, Keener's no agent, he's a rogue.
I got rounds on the agent. Deployed.
Where did you even go?
Ma'am, the division managed to extract Chernenko. We've lost the asset. We'll retrieve him later. Focus
Wait,
on
why are some of
Keener.
the ducks missing?
What
And
about
why
the
is
deal,
some
ma'am?
of them
Fuck the
overlapping?
deal.
What?
Fuck Chernenko and fuck you. Keener is the objective.
Huh. Never noticed that actually. So when it's starting, it's actually kind of messed up. Huh. Yeah, let's get set up to start it all off. Let's make sure we have everything working. One thing I wouldn't mind. Wait, does this work actually? I just want to see. Can I just snippet this and then just paste it here? Although we get that, of course, just because it's resized. That's fine though. What's the video going to be about? It's about Killer and how its activation rate is kind of, if you kind of pay attention to it, it's much higher than 60%. Well, it's higher than 60% at the very least. Let's actually equip the Lexington as kind of our secondary. And this is to kind of explain it, but then also to kind of think about some setup things we can do to activate Killer more consistently, but also it might not be really worth it even to set it up that way, but we'll, yeah, we'll kind of discuss all that. But this is like a thing I wanted to make like forever ago, but then kind of got sidetracked by other things. Yeah, let's put a little bit of that. Actually, I'm setting up the starting shot a little bit wider. That magazine looks so weird on the Lexington. Is it actually like not aligned well? Is that what's going on there? No, it's just huge, right? It's just huge. Yeah. Let's make sure the folder is ready to work as well. That's working. Yeah, let's take a sip and let's hit the record button. Oh yeah, what was my name again? Let's line this up well. I should maybe focus it a little. So it's this right there. Just so we're kind of in focus, even if I lean back a little. Yeah. Rambling talks. It's been a while since we've done those, so. Hi, I'm IKEA, and for today's video, I was almost like going and wanted to like all both together. But yeah, it's I'm going to. It's not I wanted to because I'm doing it. So. Let's that was take 0, of course. Now it's take 1. Although of course, instantly my voice goes like, nope, I'm out. Because yeah, why would it stick around for when I need it? Yeah. Hi, I'm IKEA, and for today's video, I want to have an in-depth. No, it's not an in-depth look. It's a wrap. Damn it. I've been saying too many in-depth looks lately because of the weapon type, so it instantly went that way. Yeah. No, I want to ramble on for a bit. That's how we start these videos. Hi, I'm IKEA, and for today's video, I want to ramble on for a bit about Killer and its activation rate. If you've ever paid attention actually to how often Killer kind of activates off of kills, you'll notice that it's more than the 6 out of 10 times that you would kind of expect for a talent that would have a 60% activation rate basically underneath it to activate. And there's actually a really good reason for that. And we're kind of gonna, not per se in-depth look into it, I just want to ramble a little bit about it because just to lay it out there. And then maybe in the future, we might actually revisit this as an in-depth look. But just now, for now, just to discuss the idea and kind of talk through why it actually does activate more than 60%. We can show that visually, and we can also verify that with the game by itself, because it does happen kind of that way. For that, we'll be using a spreadsheet that I've kind of prepared here. This, of course, will be linked down below, so you can jump to that and kind of look through it for yourself and play around with it as well as I'm going to here in a second. And yeah, we're going to kind of go through here and kind of explain how Killer's activation rate actually, quite often ends up being a little bit higher than the 60%, and sometimes as well much higher, and why it is very much a talent that can be used very consistently and much more consistently than the 60% would lead you to believe. So yeah, let's start jumping into this and going from there. I got very rambly at the end, but it's called a rambling talk, so it's F it. At the end of it, though, this will be like a 10-15 minute video at most, so I feel. Let's see if I can. We'll stretch it out for all those ad dollars, right? Let me get you up here. And hey there, Blair. Yeah. Let's get started here on the main body of it. Because I'm gonna do this is also for me, just to, for myself. I'm gonna go through this list first and then kind of talk about the ratios. Well, actually, I'm gonna show the builds first, talk about this, then go to the ratios. Then we're gonna have a cut, and then we're gonna do that second part where we visualize it. Okay, yeah, let's do it that way. As well, actually, I should set up my in-game to be already on the Umbra build. Just so we have that there as well. Yeah. And we are going to base most of that discussion for this rambling talk upon these two builds, which is a Striker and an Umbra initiative versus each other, but also just to visualize the difference that we're kind of going to discuss in a second. First off, to lay out the builds it's as it'll be linked down below as well, but it is an Obliterate Striker. Both of them, though, even though build picture here shows it with a FAMAS, both of them are with the Lexington, with Killer, of course. And then also the Umbra, same way, the Coyote Fenris backpack with Vigilance set up for it at full stacks, at empty stacks and such. And if we kind of go back here and let's zoom in a little bit, we have all three of them, starting out with no stacks here at the very top. Then we have them at full stacks, so where we would consider Strikers with 100 stacks, we would consider UI having been in cover for long enough to get our buff, and then pulling out of cover, and then just that very small moment when it's still at the full bar, that's its full stack. Then here as well, we have that same full stack, and then plus K being Killer. And this is, of course, their burst and sustain DPSs kind of shown up here. But what we're kind of more concerned about here is actually their checking numbers, as we have here, where we can, and I've checked it versus in-game and double check that I've input everything correctly. And that is the difference between body shot and crit shot. So, of course, with builds that are very, as we kind of run them, very crit heavy, most of our builds, even a striker at no stacks has, of course, a kind of 60 crit chance, 151 crit damage, although as well. This is with coyotes at 15 to 25. Both of the builds have coyotes in them, so we're just saying that at mid-range, basically. We're adding quite a bit of damage when we actually crit. And that is the important factor here. As we'll kind of lead up to as well, just to not bury the lead too much, it is mostly here about the difference, as we kind of have on these charts here. The blue is basically the non-crit, and this is, for instance, this is in the bottom here. It's in the same order as we have the builds at the top, basically all 6. The blue is the non-crit, the red is the crit. We of course also see that in number form, basically on here, this is what that is derived from, and the ratio especially between the two. So this is this number showing here is basically the crit divided by the non-crit, and how much percent, basically how much of a multiplier is it over the crit over the non-crit. And that is actually the thing that causes the difference. Our crits are so much larger, especially if we're going for a build like UI, which is also feeding into crit even more. And of course, Killer itself also feeding into crit much more. Means that when we're hitting an enemy, the normal shots will of course hit, and you would maybe, if the bar of the enemy would need 4 normal shots, what it would need, if we're kind of looking at these ratios here, the crit would be 2.5%, for instance, here with the unstacked striker, 2.5 times larger than that non-crit. So you would only need 2 crits to kill it. So actually, if at any point, basically you get 2 non-crits and then a crit, that crit would kill it. For it to be the non-crit, it would need to have multiple of them in a row. And especially, of course, as you're getting closer to the end of the enemy's health bar, if just 1 crit creeps in, kind of, it might actually jump over multiple non-crits and basically guarantee and make that kill a crit kill. And that is actually the reasoning behind all this. We also kind of see here then with strikers, it actually kind of stays the same ratio, especially when we're stacking up. And that makes sense, of course, because we're dealing with a separate multiplier coming in from both obliterate and of course from the striker stacks. With the Umbra with its talent, it feeds into RPM and it feeds into crit damage. Especially that crit damage component feeding into it makes it so that when we're actually fully stacked, our crits are of course much larger because we have bigger crits. That is kind of the way that build works. It feeds its damage into crit. And that does make a difference. Now, our crits are basically, as we see there, almost 4 times as big as our non-crits. So especially with a talent like Killer, that would make a difference. Because now, actually, if anywhere between the last 4 shots, any of them is a crit, basically, it is very likely that that crit will kill that enemy. You would kind of have to have 4 consecutive non-crit shots to kind of have that kill shot be a non-crit, because of course if any of those shots in there is kind of in the last 3 shots, especially here as we have it at a 3.81, if any of those last 3 shots is a crit, which is going to happen 60% of the time, so higher than a 50-50 out of 3, overall the activation of Killer will happen there. And then of course then we have Killer coming in and adding even more crits. And now, for instance, here, even for Striker, it's a 3.21 ratio. So basically, the crit is 3 times as large as the non-crit. So out of the last shots, if any of the last 3 shots is basically a crit, the crit was going to kill because it's just in that one shot going to finish that enemy off. With a non-crit, you would have to have basically 4 consecutive non-crits basically to actually have it be a non-crit. And this is the reason that Killer actually does activate as much as it does. And for my end, especially looking at footage, it's very clear. Like you would expect, if this factor wasn't in there, that it would just be a 60% activation. What it ends up being is much higher. And one of the things that I've been trying to kind of maybe try to quantize in a way is, can we use this ratio together with our crit chances to maybe make a newer number? And honestly, I kind of gave up, because actually that was the thing that I was kind of looking into when I was updating the table or the talent calculator months and months ago. Although actually it was, February-ish, March-ish of last year. So a long time ago, before also actually Killer, of course, got its big upgrade. But I kind of wanted to look at this in that way, but I kind of gave up. And actually, as a call to action, if you have a good idea to how to more than this, because here we're just looking at basically the ratio between crit and non-crit and kind of factoring that in, and then separately from the crit chance, could we actually derive in a meaningful way maybe a new percentage that we could apply as our like killer activation rate? I'm kind of doubtful, mostly because actually the methods to do that with, we would need to kind of set an enemy's health bar, where we're kind of then leaning into the issues that Time to Kill and such has, where you have to kind of pick a thing to be the thing that you base it off of. But yeah, we can go. Even just this ratio by itself, I feel, looking at the crit versus the non-crit, having that number be there is actually very useful information. Would we per se build towards this? Not really, because at the end of the day, we kind of see that Umbra, even like in its best form, is pretty far behind Striker. So we're not just gonna pick this just because we can get killer activations more. No, because Striker and at the end of the day is much easier to use than Umbra. But I think it is an interesting discussion piece to kind of have. So yeah, let's actually move on to these charts down here, and let me actually just visualize as well. If maybe if it wasn't clear yet, let's try to visualize it a little bit and maybe try to make it clearer. Also, yeah, the sun came out, the bastard. Yeah, part of my curtain is not as as see-through, because you have kind of the edge of the monitor here kind of causing for some things. Yeah, let me check if I missed anything. Okay. So actually, how long was that? 9 minutes. Yeah. So on the sideways and and in my attempt here to kind of maybe make this more visual, maybe if it isn't per se clear what I'm kind of talking about, just to kind of show it in this way. We have here the bars basically from our builds up above. This is basically the no stacks ones of the Strikers and the UI. Then they're at full stacks, and then as well full stacks plus killer. So the same numbers as we had above. And then basically bars, the blue bar being basically our non-crits, the red bar being our crits, side by side. And we can kind of also see the difference, for instance, as well, between Strikers and the UI, even at full stacks and such. And this is, of course, why we kind of go with Strikers, partially as well, because both of their bars are kind of higher as well. And that leads to much higher DPS. But that's rambling maybe too much here. Then what we have here is that we're turning them sideways. This is the same 6 bars, but then sideways just kind of, I feel that makes a little bit more sense for what we're going to do here, which is that we have this red bar kind of signifying the red bar of an enemy, the health of an enemy. If we then take, and we'll leave the circle to the side for a second, but, or I'll put it kind of there. If we then take, for instance, just one of these bars and kind of move it up, you can see that with the blue damage, we would, of course, need like quite a bit of them to kind of add up into one kill if we're kind of measuring it out. But of course, with the red, it is much less. So what will happen, and we can kind of take for instance here, let's take the two Umbras where the base actually is, the blue is basically the same size consistently because we're not gaining any separate multipliers coming in or such. If we kind of put the blue here at the end of one of them, or well, even the non-stacked one, let's actually take the red. The red, of course, covers up a much larger distance where it can be the kill shot. And that is basically the discussion that we're having here, is that for this to be a kill without the crit, we would need several shots in a row towards the end to not have a crit. In this case, for instance, 3, basically, because this blue kind of fits in a little less than 3 in there. But we would need consecutive non-crit shots for there not to be the kill happening with the crit. And this does affect actually a lot how often this activates. And of course as well, once we have killer going, as we kind of have with some of these later bars, if we take the Umbra with killer also active, that blue, of course, now we need basically all the way back here is the last time that it can have a non-crit. Any point after this, basically, or well, that actually, any point after this, if a crit were to happen, starting from basically where the blue is starting, any point after that, if a crit were to happen, it would be the kill shot, of course, because even up to here, the crit would just finish off the enemy. And of course, for the non-crit, it would have to be all the way back there. So we would need several consecutive non-crit shots for it to get to the end of the bar of the enemy. Whereas, of course, we have a 60-40 basically for it to be crit if we're maxing out our crit. So that is the reason that killer activates as much as it does. It is very much that it is the crit is so much larger of a number than the non-crit. It's not the 60-40 that we kind of think of it. It is basically a 60-40, but then also the ratio of how much bigger the crit is than the non-crit. And that does mean that we can kind of consider building towards that, but that comes also at a disadvantage. The more crit we were to have, and the more we neglect our normal damage. First of all, the less we gain from killer. A build with very low crit chance crit damage, or well, especially low crit damage. Let's say you're doing 60-120 as a build versus 60-180 for a build. The 60-120, of course, gains actually a lot more from killer. It would just do, if the rest of the stats were the same, it would just do less damage overall, but it would gain more from killer. Whereas the other one would gain less from killer, but overall is already doing more damage to begin with if the other stats are the same, and then the killer on top. So you have to kind of think as well that this is a side thing that can be considered here or there, but at the end of the day, we're definitely going to keep in mind that the DPS is still the most important thing. And then this is just more of a quirk to kind of first understand as well, how we are getting that higher activation rate than 60. And then also together with that, how sometimes if you do have the choice to kind of go maybe more towards crit, to maybe do that. So for instance, one thing would be that Fox's Prayer, especially if we're kind of comparing, you have already Cheska. If you're putting in a Coyote, that would usually be the pick, right? If there's already enough Coyotes, instead of, for instance, going Fox's Prayer, which will apply to both the non-crit and the crit, if you're running Killer, Grupo will be likely a better choice. Usually that already is the case. You wouldn't want to put a Fox's Prayer in a Strikers. It is actually a loss overall against Grupo still to this day, especially unless you're just considering it at 100% active, which you shouldn't. At best, it's 90% active usually. Well, not at best, because at best, there are places where you can get 100% out of it. But yeah, that is for those kinds of considerations. So especially if you are going Killer, to maybe, if you have two choices that are pretty close to each other. So for instance, even if we kind of go to our build where we have Umbra here, although in this case with Umbra being such high damage by itself, crit damage, the difference between Fenris and Grupo is actually pretty small here, especially if we're full red and also graded to 25 as we are here. So actually, maybe if we are maining Killer with this, which would be a good pick anyway for Umbra, even in a group setting, just because it has so much of a higher ratio, much more of its kills will be with Killer, and then as well, when Killer is activated, its other kills will much more likely also be reactivating Killer. But yeah, maybe just a choice, for instance, here to go, if I'm maining Killer, to kind of go with Grupo. Although, of course, here we could also go with Measure. Although, yeah, Killer does gain us overall more than Measured. Here as well, we're kind of pushing crit damage so high that we're kind of reaching very high diminishing returns on that. So, for instance, in here, then we have to kind of consider holistically that maybe Measured might just be a better option, and then keeping the Fenris. But yeah, just to kind of discuss these things. That's also why it's not a per se an in-depth look, kind of looking in-depth into all of these. We might do a little bit of that maybe in the future, maybe if I'm a little bit, maybe if we find a better way to maybe quantize all of this maybe into a percentage fully. We'll kind of maybe revisit this, but for now, just to kind of put the idea in there. And yeah, it's rambling, but also it's a rambling talk. You know what you signed up for. And yeah, let's do a conclusion. And hey, there's Emmy. Yeah, let's do a conclusion and kind of wrap this video up. Yeah. Which one's going to be next after this one? The pistol is going to be... Okay. And yeah, to conclude this video, this was just a short-ish ramble for my things. As I especially, I kind of wanted to visualize what is kind of happening here and to kind of show it in that way and hoping to kind of make it more understandable. As I've tried to sometimes explain to people, some people get it, some people don't. And of course, a little bit understandable. It is a little bit of a... Once you visualize it like this, I feel it is much easier to understand. But yeah, especially having this ratio, kind of considering that ratio between your crits and non-crits for Killer and how often that makes it activate is actually a thing that I'm going to start doing as well for myself, just when I'm going to main Killer, if the Killer is really the pick that I'm going for that build. I might actually try to tailor it a little bit to kind of, if without losing too much in the DPS, if we can go in a setup that is better for Killer, might actually consider that just to get higher activations out of it. But yeah, of course, at the end of the day, the DPS is actually the main factor that we kind of want to go for. We don't want to give up too much there just for a bigger ratio, because we definitely could by making poor choices like leaving out Fox's Prayer or something in a high end, let's say, where, yeah, you definitely want to keep that in. But yeah, it is one of those things to kind of consider. I kind of wanted to touch up on it here because I was trying to actually make this video or thinking of ways to kind of quantize this ages ago. I kind of gave up on it. It kind of left my mind. But now, of course, with Killer kind of coming back, it really, yeah, it was like, oh yeah, we should tackle this again. Especially as well as somebody snuck into my DMs as well and kind of went like, hey, doesn't builds actually make a difference here? Which is actually a thing that I hadn't considered really. I was more looking at, for instance, within Striker, just trying to understand like, oh yeah, we are getting it obviously kind of more than the percentages that we're kind of expecting, and trying to just understand that metric. But then going like, oh yeah, actually, yeah, of course, Killer adds in for itself as well. And then the build, of course, especially for instance here, having Umbra, which is then like the poster child of a crit damage build. The ratio there is completely different, and that will activate Killer more. And we could even consider in some ways to maybe tailor the build more towards Killer. So yeah, I hope you found this informative and kind of enjoyed the little ramble here. And yeah, maybe consider how Killer kind of works for in the future. For my next video, it's going to be the pistol. It is actually already recorded as we speak here, and yeah, it will follow this one up where we go into the pistol DPS sheet and kind of discuss pistols, especially in their DPS form against each other, not so much the headhunting form, but also very limitedly we'll jump into that into headhunter with them. And then yeah, following this up will likely be the Pestilence build showcase, or following that up will be the Pestilence build showcase, and then MMRs, of course. And we have then done all of the weapon types, and also so then we'll follow that up with going into and continuing on with the character build collection updates, because 2 characters are remaining there. Once that is done, we're kind of freed from a lot of those, and I kind of want to go back to tackling a few guides and such, so that'll be up in the future. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video or found it informative, please do any and all of the algorithm things down below. That is always very much appreciated. And I hope to catch you in future videos. And as always, have a good night. It just kept getting more and more rambly. This whole thing is the definition of a rambling talk. How long is it? It is, in fact, 23 minutes, which is a little bit long, but also. Yeah, let's take this back here. And yeah, let's make sure we have these. I'm just gonna leave these over there, the build pictures and the spreadsheet, just so I can link them in the description. Should I actually, or this is likely the next mission we're gonna do on things and stuffs. Nah, I was like, while I'm here, should I record opening the door here? But because yeah, for those that may have never seen it, again. You grenade that, you grenade that. You can also fire chem it, that's usually what I do. But yeah, blowing everything up, opens up that door. And then you have some extra loot here. But then also actually an extra Easter egg is that we have a Splinter Cell Teddy all the way up in there. But it is likely going to be the next mission I do on things and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to record a separate segment here. Because sometimes yeah, I would just record a segment. And either gator. Tell us what's in the pool of exotics at level 31. The thing is, I can kind of tell you more easily like what isn't in there of the ones that we want. Because yeah, for instance, Elmo and such is in there, Chameleon is in there, but Memento isn't, Ninja Bike isn't, Coyote of course isn't. But then, yeah, Pesty is, BTSU is, Dodge City is. It's kind of what it was supposed to be is just the things that were there before Wony, but that is definitely not the case, because yeah, Elmo is in there. Rugged is in there as well. Rugged and the other one, Bloody, both are in there. We should at some point maybe make that list, what is available at 31. But yeah, especially Elmo and Pesty are good ones to try and get. Memento is not in there, and neither is Ninja and stuff. Those are annoying that are kind of missing there. Because yeah, Memento used to be in there, but also if you do a bunch of priority missions on 31, you kind of or priority objectives, you'll get basically all of the exos pretty quickly.
Safe area detected.
We should maybe because I could alter or add it to the TL, the target loot list, or target loot guide at some point. Is there a way to reroll exotics at lower level? No. What you get is what you get. There is no... the table does not work until... Or, well, for reconfiguration and stuff, does not work until it's high-end. And the only way to get it to high-end now is to become level 40. That's when it's is able to be swapped. And yeah, so not at 31. But yeah, basically what you get is what you get there. It's kind of annoying. Especially with weapons. But nowadays with priority objectives, it's pretty easy to go for other things you can do as well. If you have a lot of NSA tech, if you do descent a lot, that's also a decent way to get some exotics. But of course, yeah, luck of the draw still. But yeah, just doing priority objectives, you get a bunch of them. Actually, I would say nowadays as well, just that priority objectives, it's not as fast as the SHU requisition at level 30 used to be, definitely, but it's actually a lot more, like, I find it less of a soul training. let's go with that one. It's actually kind of fun. And it isn't just redoing the whole thing and just skipping cutscenes. But yeah, the biggest downside is especially Memento is not in there, which used to be in there. But you can get Pesty. Pesty is really good. Elma is really good. Chameleon is really good as well. Those are in there. You can, of course, also try to get Chatterbox, which is in there, but that would be maybe easier just to do the side mission for it, basically the project for it, kind of. And hey there, I'll go with Lad. And yeah, I'm doing pretty good. We just finished up recording a video. I'm gonna go do a weekly, actually, real quick. I feel getting... Actually, no, let's go with what the title says. Let's get that descent run in. Also, just want to quickly do it solo and get it solo run in, because I haven't done so in quite a bit. Mostly done in groups. I just want to solo it out and also kind of remember as well how solo kind of feels again. Because we do have a rat available. And mostly I want to just get the weekly descent project out of the way. One thing we would definitely keep an eye out for is if they ever do a takedown event. No, what was it called? Throwback event. With the throwback, actually, the projects were available at below 40 basically, and yeah, even for the missions that weren't per se available for the level 31s, they could even just join at the end of the mission and they would get a level appropriate. So next time that comes around, we're gonna definitely try to get because Peyote has never been available at those levels, but we want to see if we can get a level 31 Peyote. But Memento as well would be a nice thing to maybe try and get that 31 in that way. But yeah, it depends on if they do another throwback event. Would be cool actually if they did at the end of the season. So I could not see anything available. Wait, the NSA vendor is available at 31, right? Or is that... I haven't tried in a while, but it's definitely... Because even the upgrades and stuff are available at 31. Because Descent is just available. Oh, make sure that... Yeah, so the the scent vendor, right? Not the countdown, just to be clear. Or just to double check. That's not the one you think it is. Because yeah, countdown one used to be available as well, but they took that away. Countdown one was actually one of the easier ones in the past. But also back then we had the SHG requisition weekly and stuff. You know what? I'm just gonna take a mulligan. I don't want to deal with the ACRSS here. Because likely as well, we'll be sticking with that till way later. So yeah, we'll take an exit and come back in. The descent vendor at 31.
Combat simulation program.
It's been like a little bit, but I don't think it's even been since a latest patch because I used it myself as well for character 3 for an exotic cache. Not too long ago. So unless it's like, although well, yeah, it wouldn't happen without a patch because they kind of need that to get things like that out. Yes, and I was wondering what is the best SMG in the game right now. So overall, the attack vector, 9mm, is kind of, for myself, is my go-to very much, SMG-wise.
Combat simulation program activated.
And yes, there's 3 different vectors. There's the Vector 45. There's also there's 2 9mm as well, and then one of them is the tactical one, which is like the short one without the stock on it. It is also the 19 round one, but yeah, you get basically 39 rounds with the extended mag. The thing is, especially as well, why it works decently is that it has actually an extended mag, or a pretty quick reload. Works. A pretty quick reload, so yeah, that makes up for it unloading that fast, because a lot of other ones that are kind of in the same ballpark are very long reloads, and that one has like a pretty short reload and really high burst. And its sustain isn't too bad in comparison either. Otherwise as well, some of the exotics are pretty okay, especially the Chatterbox. Lady Death, not so much. Lady Death is pretty bad, but yeah, Chatterbox is pretty good. Oreo, if you have one, is still good.
Easy.
And then specifically the Dark Winter is also kind of good.
Hostiles constructing. Hostile spawn from highlighted doors. Hostile construction initiated.
Much better skills here. And weapon. Let's get myself a MP7.
Now you pissed me off.
And also got ourselves foam for the Nemesis fight, which will kind of end it. We got capacitive there as our free talent. Yeah, that's not going to stay long. And yeah, this didn't have... Yeah. This does have Obliterate, right? But this doesn't have Agonizing, so we want to... Surgical is definitely just a normal, decent pick. Intimidate will also be a pick once I have another Adrenaline Rush.
Room selected. Difficulty rating medium.
Also, actually, another one you can use at level 31 is Danny as well. Because yeah, has, for instance, 2 exotic caches this week, so you could get those at 30 or 31.
Hostile construction initiated.
Because he's kind of nice for that as well. Yeah, I don't want to use my SMG too much. I want to kind of keep enough rounds for the boss fight. Except that also my mouse is being very annoying.
Console online.
The click
Supply station
release on it
online.
is a little bit off. As always. Yeah, let's just take another surgical. I don't want to reroll too much. We want to set that up because in this there's both obliterate and strained, which we can kind of go for. And then we're just gonna book it for the nemesis. So easiest rooms.
Room selected. Difficulty rating.
And then yeah, on yellow, rat only had eyeless, right? Yeah, so we have trauma eyeless. You want to get steady-handed to offset on hinges.
Constructing hostile combatant. Hostiles constructing. Hostile spawn from highlighted doors.
You gotta be dead!
Console online.
Okay. I know we're already just gonna exit with at least 24%, hopefully more than that. Yeah, let's take that unhinged. 1 or 2 stacks of it before we have steady-handed isn't the worst. Oh yeah, 24% it is. Also, we have to do boilers.
Room selected. Difficulty rating. Medium.
Yeah,
Hostiles
boilers is
constructing.
definitely one of my
Hostile
least
spawn from
favorite rooms.
highlighted doors.
First of all, that's 5 doors,
Constructing
which
hostile
yeah,
combatant.
will get all marked if you're doing hard rooms and stuff. And the real spot you would want to be is kind of up here, and there is no tall cover up here. Because most of the time in the sand, one of the things you want to do is, you know, you use cover, but you don't use the cover system. You kind of just put stuff behind, and then just, you know, so you can just fight one enemy at a time. And that's actually the biggest downside of boiler. Like upstairs, there's just no tall covers at all. And yeah, unhinged also affects accuracy, of course. Even though I'm kind of on target, at these kind of ranges,
Console active.
they don't go where I'm aiming. Let's take eyeless already. I know, we're just gonna nemesis. Oh. That makes it. We came in that way, so we're exiting this way. We're just gonna go to the nemesis and just bang that out of the way.
Entering new location. Difficulty rating. High value target. Constructing hostile combatant. Hostile construction initiated.
There's gonna be 2 waves anyway. I'll respawn here.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
So a little bit too much enemy-wise. Let's actually get out of there. Because the name actually does take quite a while to kill on the first one. I'd rather just go kill everything else, especially so that not a sniper or something is gonna shoot me in the back suddenly.
He snuck up on me. Take him out.
Like that sniper. I have foam to kind of CC for a few seconds. I was actually eyeless is up. So my next shot will blind him. Actually, with the unhinged, that helped a bit there. Although as well, maybe I'm thinking more of like, especially 3 or 4 man scaling that fast just takes a while to murder. Do you have a build put together around the Dark Window? Dark Window is just a weapon. Like it fits into a bunch of builds. You could just in Hunter's Fury. Overall, for SMGs, I like Hunter's Fury quite a bit. Strikers works just as well as well. But the Hunter's Fury with SMGs, I mean, it's the classic, right? Because yeah, as most weapons, it just wherever an SMG would fit, the Dark Winter would fit just as well. It doesn't per se have its own build. Yeah, let's take the MP sticky, then my skills are out of the way. And have enough for 2. Yeah, definitely a red. Actually gonna keep the rest of my credits.
Entering new
But
room.
then as well,
Difficulty
if you're
rating.
not
Easy.
familiar with it, I'll link here
Constructing
to
hostile combatant.
the build collection. I'll do it by chance.
Hostiles constructing. Hostile spawn from highlighted doors.
In the build collection, yeah, there's a recommended build list. Hunter's Fury is on there as well. Oh, but also you can just Control F for HF for Hunter's Fury. All of the Hunter's Fury builds will be that. Also have a bunch of Striker, SMG variants. Those would also all fit well. But yeah, you could stick it into basically
Console
anything.
online.
I don't want to reroll. We'll take 1 adrenaline rush there, and that'll just be to trigger intimidate or intimidate if I get that pick.
Entering new room. Difficulty rating. Easy.
Because then as well, I can pick intimidate if I just get that. Solo as well. I just get 2 doors marked.
Hostile spawn from highlighted doors.
That's what I should do. I have a sticky there.
Hostile construction initiated.
I'll just stagger him for a sec.
We just took a casualty.
Just fucking.
Console online.
Unhinged, not helping much there.
Supply station activated.
Yeah, Obliterate is one of the 4 talents I would want here anyway. It's one of the MVPs.
Room selected. Difficulty rating.
Is
Medium.
this our 3rd pick? I think this is our 3rd pick, right? I mean, we're a little bit
Constructing
behind
hostile
unless we
combatant.
get an
Hostiles
normal
constructing.
next.
Hostile spawn from highlighted doors.
That hurt.
Serious trauma detected.
I was down.
Agent killed.
I didn't have the firepower for that. Kinda used to being a little bit later in there. That was annoying as well that you can't have to wait for this whole thing. Give me the end screen, just give me any. That was just dumb play. And all on me. Because yeah, we should have just set up further, not like try to run and gun it on loop 2 when I don't have the talents for it yet.
Facility.
And also not really the gun for it. That MB7 was still gray. Like I didn't even have a green weapon.
Shade tech prohibited. Access denied.
And yeah, whenever you fail, it is
Protocols.
important to just
Entering combat simulation
Okay.
program.
analyze and go like,
Combat
hey,
simulation
what happened
program
there?
activated.
Instead of just going, shit sucks, everything sucks, always everything is everybody else's fault, and and then just living that way. Oh yeah, actually the AUG is decent in here because of that extended mag. I'm gonna up that just so it's on the ground. Rip, yep. Oh yeah, sometimes you just kind of
Room
as well as
selected.
like, what am I
Difficulty rating,
doing
Easy.
being this aggressive? Because sometimes as well, it's just
Hostiles
about getting to the
constructing.
end.
Hostile spawn from highlighted doors.
Much more important.
Hostile
The
construction.
thing is,
initiated.
like starting loop 6 and stuff, I can be that aggressive, but yeah, not loop 2 when I have a bunch of blues. I have Pummel as my free talents, which yeah, not the worst. Won't help anything against Nemesis. but-
Console available.
Second leg rare. Also not the worst.
Room
Hopefully we'll
selected.
get actually, because we're actually
Medium.
going to land on 48 there.
Hostile construction.
It's just kind of annoying
initiated.
going into loop 3 with just 48.
Constructing
You're then
hostile combatant.
already pretty far behind, and then there's a pretty high chance actually that you're not gonna get the Nemesis on loop 4.
Console active. Supply station available.
I think it's being nice and giving me pretty good talents so far. Oh yeah, here we're headed for 24 again.
Entering new location. Difficulty rating medium. Constructing hostile.
Should I actually check?
combatant.
It was on this account, right, that I got the
Hostile
Nemesis patch
construction
already.
initiated.
And the AUG not helped much by having unhinged on top of it. It's already a really bad handling weapon. Put even more on it.
Console available.
Hey, trauma. Yes. Right, 24. I mean, if we
Entering new
already had
location.
2 forced mediums, this would
Difficulty
like be a
rating, easy.
failed. You're doing that. You're doing it for the
Hostiles constructing. Hostile spawn from highlighted doors.
Nemesis patch. This would be filled already.
Hostile construction initiated. Console available.
Even take vigilance in this, although as well I don't have the slot for it. What did I have? Sure. Unhinged 2 with nothing to offset it yet.
Entering new room. Difficulty rating. High value target.
Let's see where the other one is.
Hostiles constructing. Hostile spawn from highlighted doors.
So,
Hostile construction initiated.
on both sides of the map.
I fucking got this. I'll fucking kill you.
You're gonna be dead!
I have enough ammo.
You're gonna love this!
Two snipers is kind of annoying here.
I'll fucking kill you. Fuck.
Yeah, the double unhinged 11 match. Is that reach now?
I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out.
It's gonna blow you. Up. No, up. What a sticky. Mm, mm, mm. All three are decent picks. Oh, actually, yeah. For Nemesis fights, Plague or Bullet Hell. Let's go Bullet Hell. Oh, yeah, with these weapon choices, I should have gone. Should have gone Plague. Actually, yeah, let's take this one. That's kind of the funny thing in here. So at the M1928, like you wouldn't ever really pick this outside of here, but that's one of the big reasons is you don't have the mod slots, right? Here we don't get to have the mod slots anyway. So then what happens is that this weapon is higher RPM and higher damage per shot than the T82 here, just because yeah, it would normally outside of here have all of those mod slots available. Some weapons actually are better picks in here, much more so than they are outside of here. Especially as well, the weapons that just don't have any mods.
Room selected. Difficulty rating.
Raise to
easy.
the top.
Hostiles constructing. Hostile spawn from highlighted doors.
No, no.
Hostile construction initiated.
Run.
Ah, them by a slot.
Console
God
online.
damn it, that was extremely dumb. But we can get rid of that pommel as well. We don't need it anymore.
Entering new location.
With
Difficulty
bullet hole.
rating. Easy. Steam hazard
But yeah,
activated.
should have made the red slot.
Constructing hostile combatant. Hostile construction initiated.
There it is. It's hard to see if it's that
You
one.
let go.
Engaging! Fucking hell!
Console.
Wouldn't mind steady-handed at this point. Game. Two rerolls for that was not worth it. And that preservation is at
Room
least kind of
selected.
useful getting to
Difficulty
the
rating,
nonsense.
easy. Constructing hostile combatant. Hostiles constructing. Hostile spawn from highlighted doors.
Get ready and go.
Is that we can kind of be aggressive, but especially we need a green weapon, which I didn't have last time. I shouldn't have been as
Console
aggressive.
active.
And good talents picks. It's gonna take that preservation. It's fine. Yeah, we're not gonna take the boss room. I wanna fight the nemesis as early as possible. I don't care about NSA tech. I've
Entering new
almost
location.
16k saved up.
Difficulty rating, easy. Activating steam hazard prototype. Hostile construction initiated. Hostiles constructing.
Steam
Hostile
hazard.
spawn
That's
from
just when Steam
highlighted
has a sale,
doors.
right? And it's a hazard to your your wallet. To your just to your life funds.
Yeah!
Land on target. Downsides of unhinged. We need steady-handed just to offset that. So I still keep trying to reload even though I have bullet hell. Because
Console active.
of course I have.
Supply station activated.
And let's... So actually, yeah, not buying that slot didn't really cost me.
Entering new location.
That's still
Difficulty
fine.
rating. High value
The Sun
target.
Lady 2, any ideas I can use zero
Poison gas hazard.
chest piece.
Activated.
Just got that blueprint. Overall, the thing is, like, would you generally use
Hostile
Unbreakable?
construction initiated.
For me, the answer to that is kind of no. I would
Hostiles constructing.
much rather have damage on my
Hostiles
chest
spawn from
talents.
highlighted doors.
Because also, the talents are pretty powerful. Like, you could take likely even 4, but definitely you can take 3 blue cores
See anything?
and kind of lose less damage than like losing Obliterate on the chest would be. You can just put it, for instance, into a Hunter's Fury if you want a shotgun with it, but yeah, just Hunter's Fury, shotgun. You know, whatever backpack basically.
Here.
Preferably high-end, not of the gear set.
RPG ready.
But then also that kind of like competes. These guys almost killed themselves on. But then yeah, you could also have like Adrenaline Rush Intimidate combo for shotguns, which is a lot of damage. Unbreakable is definitely useful in like DZ and PvP, especially. That's where it like really gets used a lot. But there as well, you wouldn't use shotguns. Shotguns are pretty bad in PvP just because of how bad their multiplier is. Just trying to remember there what skills I had if I needed skill tiers yet. We'll get a foam or a fire cam. I'll take a skill tier or 2 just for those. So let's take 2 of those. We'll need the med pack here. Actually, I could even take a second med pack. None of those skills. Then let's maybe go with... Actually, I don't have I have bullet hell, right? So we could actually go to RPK. Yeah, let's go with the RP. Now I want to have some funds to reroll. God damn it, boilers again. At least this time we're on 52 instead of 48 as well on loop 3.
Entering new room. Difficulty rating easy.
So we're much higher chances
Hostile construction initiated.
of
Hostiles constructing.
getting
Hostile
Nemesis.
spawn from highlighted doors. Console
And then,
available.
definitely next loop need to fill up my skill slot. Could take braced, but actually yeah, I want to hold that for because we have one slot yellow here, one steady-handed there. And one critical. So actually, what do we have so far? Oh, we don't have because yeah, we would want surgical and obliterate. I mean, I saved the money for the rerolls, right? Let's take an adrenaline rush just in case we get intimidated. Oh yeah, pummel, of course, guys. Because yeah, we'll take surgical, obliterate, strained, and then intimidate here. One of the nice things about Wrath is that you can basically have 6, in the reds at least, you can have 6 separate multipliers. Because yeah, you can have basically Allegro, rate of fire, unhinged weapon damage, obliterate, total weapon damage, strained crit damage, intimidate, separate multiplier, and then surgical to trigger obliterate and strained with. So you kind of have
Entering new room.
pretty good
Difficulty
picks,
rating,
easy
easy.
picks there.
Hostiles constructing.
Yeah, the rotation is Rat.
Hostile spawn from highlighted
Oh, it's
doors.
Rat everywhere. All of the systems have the
Hostile
same when it
construction
comes to that. The
initiated.
shops, the rotation, you know. All of the things are always all the same on all of the systems like that. That unhinged start. Before it becomes accurate
Console available.
due to the LMG parts of it. Oh, this would be kind of pushing it, but if I get... Don't want to reroll too much as well, because the more we reroll, the less... Yeah, we kind of... Although, well, we have 2 red slots still remaining that we kind of want to fill as well.
Entering new room. Difficulty rating easy.
66, 670...
Constructing hostile
5.
combatant.
Oh, we're kind
Hostile
of really on
construction
track, because this is
initiated.
also the third room, right? Oh, where am I? Not even page. Different platform? No. It's all the same. As more, I'm guessing they weren't just aware of that, and they weren't sure if it was maybe different per platform. But now you know, and knowing is half the rotation.
Console active.
Good for deep runs. Overall, Envy I would consider better for deep runs because it has pretty potent yellows as well. This has really good reds, basically, and decent yellows. I prefer Envy for deep runs by a little margin. But Rat is a close second. Yes, I'm thinking Hunt's Fury. The no. Yeah. Although you can just try it out. The thing is with
location.
Unbreakable,
Difficulty
if you're
rating,
gonna run it,
easy.
you have to kind of not play. You have to kind of play to its strengths at that point. But actually, it can work out decently well. The thing is, we just generally don't play that way, where we're super aggressive. Because what you want to do with it is be super aggressive until you hit your Unbreakable, and then like for a minute, then you have to kind of slow it down a little bit.
Hostile construction initiated.
And usually, yeah, we just go
Hostiles
with
constructing.
more
Hostile
damage
spawn from
there just to kill
highlighted
faster.
doors.
But yeah, Tsunami is one of the top picks shotgun-wise. So. And also, yeah, sometimes it's just fine as well just to put something together just to mess around with something. I do that as
Supply
well.
station activated.
Or say, hey, at least give me steady-handed there. That's what I really needed there. Is when we're using PvP, I believe. Yeah, I mean, in PvP, it is very much the top pick. But even there, you would just go with normal Breakable.
Fire simulation.
Although more so just because
activated.
shotguns don't get used to use the perfect
Room selected. Difficulty rating.
one.
High value target.
Oh yeah, let's keep the fire actually. We can remove the fire if we
Hostile
want. We run in, we
construction
run back out.
initiated.
It removes the fire. Good, maybe I should put that
Constructing
in
hostile
things
combatant.
and stuff at some point. The thing is though that actually some of the hazards are very useful. Like these guys are setting themselves on fire, murdering themselves for me basically. So I wouldn't per se want to remove this. I'm gonna suppress that before I get the kill shot in. I don't want to push all the way up there. I want to kind of be on this side, but so of course this guy sets at this thing.
Got around me.
I believe we lost where they went. Stuff like this. Just set themselves on fire. Blow themselves up. Need the proficiency. Yeah, you can also just need to run it for the proficiency. Although the non-DZ names are, yeah, you get so many of them just running countdowns and stuff if you do that. Yeah, we're on 80%, so we're kind of guaranteed for the Nemesis. Even 4 medium rooms would get us that. But actually, if I don't get a good skill here, I might extend it by 1. Kind of depends on the skill pick here. I know, fire cam good enough. So we'll go for Nemesis here. I can actually take just all mediums as well. I wanted to here. Could I not? This. We do want that as well. Yeah. Because we're at 84 mediums is guaranteed basically.
Medium.
So
Constructing
We'll take the
hostile
medium.
combatant. Hostile construction initiated.
We're good to exotic talents in the sense. Kind of depends per rotation. Agonizing is generally one, like if it's there, it's getting picked. It is. Well, actually, that's not true as well. Because then, yeah. So in Envy, it is especially really good. But actually in, I don't remember which one. Is it maybe Gluttony has it as well? But there it doesn't have any, like you have no skills that actually trigger off of crit really. So it's not great. there.
Console available.
But it's basically different combos for different different rotations. Because for instance here, definitely the combination of, so Plague I would generally like pick especially low, but then here for deep run, the setup is definitely Bloodsucker, Adaptive Instinct, and Bullet Hell. And Bloodsucker is there just to trigger Intimidate much more consistently. So, because yeah, also in deeper runs or like up to 15, Plague is pretty good. Just stuff isn't dying super fast. Or well, by 10, usually stuff is already dying pretty fast. But yeah, up to 10, like it's pretty good. And then it's nice for the Nemesis. It's nice for some of the boss rooms or something like that, but it's kind of useless outside of there. So yeah, I pick those. Adaptive overall is also decent up to higher loops, because if you get the room done in under 45 seconds, it basically resets back to full. And that also means, for instance, here, this one is very much, to me, Rat really works well in 3-man and 4-man, actually, for deep runs. Because then everybody has their own door with Intimidate. Intimidate, for instance, here, when I'm shooting across, this is larger than 25 meters. So even if I had Intimidate, they don't hear it. Like if I'm shooting at that door, Intimidate will not be active. But if everybody has their own door, everybody has like Intimidate active. I forgot I have a fire cam now. But they're generally the damage ones, basically. The utility is not that useful here, so things like Doctor Home and stuff just get not really picked unless you're forced into it or something. It's perfectly unbreakable, yeah. Oh well, it's perfect unbreakable. Some of them are perfectly, some of them are
difficulty rating easy.
But yeah, and the DZ, yeah, all more. That's also the thing, like the amount more that you get from perfect unbreakable there, unless you're specifically going shotguns, it's basically not really, you know, you don't go specifically for that unless you're actually going shotguns as well.
Console available.
We have 2 more picks, right? Kinda need Obliterate especially here. Because we could even take that Vigilance just because we have no more good picks. But yeah, let's actually get our Obliterate. Obliterate is one of the MVPs here. Although more so in Envy, where it's paired with Agonizing as well.
Room selected. Difficulty rating medium.
But the Rat is definitely still good enough for getting up there in a fast enough fashion.
Initiated. Console online.
Let's go get our boss fight in, and then let's go get our other boss fight in. Strained would be really good. PT game. So we're taking Preservation 3 then. It was a risk we took there, but that's fine. I wouldn't want one more unhinged anyway. Our steady-handed is like not enough to offset it yet. If we had steady-handed too, because here as well, like I have minus 45. So steady-handed up to like halfway isn't completely offsetting it.
Hostile construction initiated. Hostiles constructing. Hostile spawn from
So
highlighted
it has to be
doors.
the one back there. It's a weird faction. Death to the
Immediate medical assistance needed.
eye for an eye. That one got there quick. Also, actually, bullet hell is as one of the few utility ones that I do often. Because bullet hell, both in envy and in here, you definitely for deeper parts you want it. You just can't be caught in a reload. Like that's the thing that will get you killed quite often. Is you're reloading and then something hits you and murders you. Maybe hit that barrel. One of these shots will land, right? God, I believe.
I can't see the damn thing.
Okay. Actually, I'm not gonna take a skill tier at all. A second fire cam wouldn't help me that much. I would also give the Nemesis a second fire cam because they do get your skill tiers. They don't get blue cores, red cores, stuff like that, but they do seem to get your skill tiers. Let me check here as well. We see some corruption, but it wasn't good, but we're well enough for challenging island. Yeah, I mean you can just run, basically, you know. With Cheska Grupo, I usually want Vigilance Obliterate just for ease of use, and then just whatever 4 gear set pieces around it will be good enough just to run through Countdown and just, you know, proficiency it if that is your goal. Flame rounds, no flame rounds, but we do have. I just want more ammo. Yeah, let's just take more ammo. We'll get our fort met back here as well. Let's go
Room selected.
fight our
Activating.
nemesis.
Nemesis.
And kind of same tactic as in group. Sometimes
Nemesis detected.
I would just not run upstairs ever. Actually, yeah, being upstairs, especially for the skills and stuff as well. Just so they can't really easily hit me.
System
This might be
malfunctioning.
instantly over.
System back online.
I want to jump that way.
Serious trauma detected.
Their direct impacting is always amazing. Not in. What? I was in that? That's not. I don't believe that. How did that thing get you? Oh well. Let's finish. I was kind of also waiting for trauma to come back.
Simulation terminated.
So it's
Collecting
gonna-
data.
Playing it slow. But a combination trauma and having just enough damage. Make sure you have all the health packs. Try to get good weapons, good talents. 34 minutes. Although, yeah, we wiped once, so. Which, that's never happened. We'll just exit out there. And we might actually do. I don't know how we want, because yeah, this evening I want to record the MMR video, and tomorrow actually I
Facility
want to
detected.
around.
Combat simulation program active.
Project finished, John. Is the comp we got. Kind of red funny there, which is project finished, John. Speaking of John, let's go listen to John. Is he some form of Baptist? I should have.
Cleaners attacked the Merritt estate. You've never crossed the bridge before. They had help. One of Cal's hunters. Bullshit. It was right. He was embedded with them. His team upgraded their gear with some kind of new accelerant that burns purple. Is Mac okay? Yeah, Cal says agents got her out. She's at Haven. Mac's safe for now. We have bigger problems than that purple stuff. Cleaners in Long Island is a pretty big problem. Wright wasn't working alone. He gave the Lovebirds rogue tech. Where the hell
Oh, Wright was a hunter?
I have no idea. We haven't really been keeping an inventory. Maybe we should start.
Yeah. So apparently Wright was a hunter. Didn't know that. That was last week's com there.
Our job is
Does he have any like watches on him and stuff? And we're reaching closer to the end. We have 9, or no, we have 7 more to go of these.
He's in love with you.
No, he's not.
He would take a bullet for you.
So would you.
In the shoulder, sure. Leg? I'd have to think about it.
He is not in love with me.
Bishop is obsessed with you. He thinks you're like a prophet or something.
Then he's perfect to spread the gospel of the noble robes.
Yeah. Wait, who's Bishop? Is that Hornet? Is that like, is that as near? But yeah, they would likely more say Hornet then, right? Driving the nemesis like ram. Nah, the thing is with fighting stuff that is much stronger than you is much more waiting for opportunities to engage. You're just pecking away at them because yeah, if you go foot to like you go toe to toe, foot to foot. I was about to say, but yeah, now if you go toe to toe, they'll just step on your toe. They'll just destroy you. And I did get a reconstructed cache there. I'm not going to get any blueprints out of those anymore. I have all the blueprints. But also, I'm not going to hang on to it or try to keep on to it or something. I have like a ton of them in my stash. I also have like a ton of... And it's ATEX, so we're just going to open it.
agent.
Which will only just give you a named item, basically, and nothing else. If you have all the blueprints. Get all those out of the way. Also, actually, I realize now we did the scouts, but we didn't actually listen to what the scout end com was. Let's get there.
You're married, right?
Yeah.
And you've got a kid, right?
You know that, Theo. Why are you asking me questions you already know the answers to?
How did you know you were ready to be in a relationship? How did you know that your husband was like someone you wanted to spend the rest of your life with?
You talking about the civvy you rescued? Twice?
What? No. What are you talking about?
You wondering if she likes you?
Yes.
You rescued her. Twice. She said you were cute. Keener almost puked at your second meet cute.
Yo, she did say I was cute.
If you like her, go for it. What do you have to lose?
My dignity, my ego, my rep as a mysterious and powerful man.
Great. So nothing, since you already lost all of those things. Get a blanket, some water bottles, a couple of MREs, and ask if she wants to have a picnic.
What?
The world is dying, but if you like her, make her feel special. Give her a moment of normal and kindness, and you'll get the girl.
Are they turning Parnell just into Otacon? is Keener Snake and is Parnell Otacon. Can love bloom on the battlefield? Is this really where we're going with
What can I do
this?
for you?
I kind of had yeah. Their dynamic I always kind of felt was already kind of that, just Snake and Otacon, but yeah, they're kind of really leaning that way, aren't they? And then yeah, let's seeing as we got our descent in as well. Let's swap this out. Let's go to character number 3. Seeing as another important weekly thing ticked off with that descent run. Rat is always nice for Nemesis runs as well. Envy is even easier, but Rat is definitely up there as well.
Entering safe
We'll
area.
grab this character. And yeah, I'm just gonna go do the weekly. I might actually combine that with the daily, seeing as it is DUA. And yeah, even the thingy there, the atomic event for what are their targets. And DUA knee pads, we'll get an exotic out of that likely. So is the other one Potomac or rifles? Good enough. We'll likely do ourselves viewpoint for SMGs there. That's also the 3 factions, so we'll get all 3 types of kills. That's nice. And yeah, the names are not names. It's basically, instead of neutralize named hyenas, it's neutralize hyenas. Just 5 of them, so because it's counting them all. Potomac will just do without invasion likely, to just do the normal version to get that cast. But then yeah, let's go actually capture what we need for this and donate. And yeah, I kind of want to end with DUA and then get both of these at the same time. I always kind of like doing that. Also, yeah, actually, if anybody is interested in joining me for that, feel free to say so. Can I make sure my modifier is on? We're gonna modifier it up. That's what I was considering running, but hers isn't optimized yet. Maybe we take the one from the stash then. Let's do that one. Let's run Strega on the Tremendous Fury Tick Tank. So that's cool skills and Fog of War. And special ammo. I don't want to deal with either of those two, so I want my regen. I will deal with some disorient rats. Actually, what is it? Oh, Judiciary, of course. Yeah, so let's track that on screen. Yeah, we need to capture something to donate in Judiciary. Let's go for that. That's easier. Because it will take care of the other parts of the daily already. And then go do the other 2 missions and then come back for DUA and then complete everything all at once. Yeah, let's actually get the southern approach. No, actually I want to, especially with the uncharged up tech tank, let's go the northern way. As especially for this control point, I kind of like coming in this way, where you're not just coming straight onto the minigun. Because from here we kind of come from basically a flank, which is overall a little bit more healthy. Yeah, sure. Let's activate all out and use it on them as well. And then what we want to make happen here, of course, is making Strega stacks kind of go around. Because honestly, anything above 2, when I'm shooting anything that has above 2 stacks, we're doing pretty well. And especially if we're shooting stuff like that, like 4 stacks. Also, yeah, when we're running the Strega, it becomes kind of more useful to shoot at things like turrets and stuff, because yeah, even when we blow those up. But here as well, I have all out up, so it's basically we're doing top damage already.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Let's check here. Well, the kind of what I also want to do is, for instance, yeah, I haven't named here, although I'm just gonna melt them out. But if we didn't have, for instance, all out up, what we would want to do is like kill the purples around them and the reds around them and the elites around them. Just to get more stacks onto them and then use, you know, higher Strega stacks on an enemy that might take a while to kill. But they're especially with all out as well. Not much stood a chance. That's kind of where I want to go stand. Let's go grab all of our pickups here just to charge up the memento as well. Because also I'm gonna kind of stick back and just use the modifier.
Reinforcements incoming.
It's kind of the rogue outfit, or they're not in this
Incoming hostiles detected.
You mean the specific ones from like the New York sets? Yeah, those were limited time. They did one of them again, right? I think they did keener ones again at one time. But yeah, they might pop up again. There'll be bundles though. There'll be like special. But yeah, they're not like generally available if you mean like the Parnell and the Jika and the Dragov ones and stuff. Overall PvE, heroic and legendary build. Favorite is kind of hard because it's going to be different for different moments. For instance as well, heroic and legendary is completely different on picks quite often. Although overall just an striker
Detected.
is already, you know. The thing is, it wouldn't be my favorite, but it could do all those things. It could do heroic, it could do legendary, it could do solo, and it could do in group. Because it's also very different what I like in groups and what I like solo. Because, for instance, one of the things I enjoy playing a lot, but, yeah, favorite, is that favorite? Or is favorite more like something that is actually super effective? But that would be more just in groups, as I like playing Eclipse a lot. I haven't been doing it much this season just because the
Supply room access unlocked.
modifier, especially that we've just been running quite a lot, is more just weapon based and does better with that. But I might actually for a few weeks, or maybe at least like next week or something, just ban myself from using the modifier and
Falling asleep out here.
just to kind of have a palate cleanser, basically. Because then also we have reanimated again, and then we'll go back to using the modifier. Just to wean us off of having had reanimated.
Oh, hell yeah.
But yeah, it's very different for instance as well. Solo, like I much prefer over a normal full red striker, I much prefer having a striker tech tank or a heartbreaker tech tank. Because both of those as well just I can be much more aggressive, and I'm not I'm dictating the pace, not the enemies, basically. Which is a thing that with red builds, you kind of have to learn to play that way of just like letting you kind of react to enemies doing things more so than you yourself being. I'm gonna actually do this challenging that we likely got from daily. Just to get that out of the way. Also, it'll be an actual activity, so there's nothing spawned here. Let's just run there from here. It'll be about the same speed as going from DOA. Yeah, Nate Denison. I'm gonna show the build. What I'm running now. Yeah, this is actually which one is this? I can even show you the link. So yeah, it's 313. Yeah, seeing as we've fixed up all our links, we can get that going. Oh yeah, they only of course work in Twitch chat, but I can just copy. So that's the setup that I'm kind of currently running. Although I'm running it now with a Strega, just to mess around with the Strega a little bit more. And also keep in mind that if it feels like
We should keep moving.
I'm kind of burning through stuff and you don't use the modifiers, yeah, the modifier adds a lot of damage here. So if you're not familiar with the modifier, a lot of the damage here is coming from correct use of the modifier.
Target is near you, Agent.
But also, this isn't per se a weak build or anything. The nice thing about it is, especially it has a 6-tier shield. I can just point my shield towards enemy and just keep advancing towards them, basically. I don't need to like go and hide or the way I would on a red build. To like, if like 5 things are shooting at me, I can just stand in front of the 5. So here, I would want to kill the red stuff, especially first. Mark the other ones. Oh, as well, this is also a fully optimized build and also a grade 25 Strega, so you would expect some decent damage anyway. Funny how much more of a thing it becomes to destroy turrets and stuff, just to get the stacks out. Hey, we're gonna kill Snowdrop. The game's gonna crash. Is Heartbreaker stacking bug? It seems to take longer to fill up lately. It's not lately. It's always been pretty bad. It doesn't, the way, like Striker, basically every hit that you make, if you, for instance, were to calculate how many, like with your firing time of your weapon, and you hit a target at the range, and how much was it even? I think it was like 47 or 46 stacks is what you're like estimated to have, or well, calculated to have, and you'll get that. That's, if you kind of take the bar and kind of percentage it, you'll see that it's like on 46% filled basically at that point. Striker, basically for every hit it gives you a stack, and of course it decays. That's the reason it's not the 50. Heartbreaker just doesn't, and in no situation really. Unlikely, the thing is that Pulse is likely not active for like over a full second. It's likely not active for that full second. It's likely active for like half of that second, really. So any shots you make in like the first half of the second. And I wonder if that's a thing they could address or something. But yeah, for the time being, Striker just stacks a lot better than Heartbreaker. That's one of the reasons, because currently Heartbreaker, like red Heartbreaker is basically
Target down.
close to equivalent to Obliterate Striker. So Chest Striker can of course do a lot more, but for an Obliterate Striker, it's kind of close. But we still don't use it much in a red sense just yet. The stacking is pretty bad. But you can kind of bypass it as well by just stacking with ACS. You kind of, the way, for instance, that I play Heartbreaker Tech Tank is I would never like just sit with the main weapon and just shoot. I would.
You got the target. Nice.
Basically always open up with the ACS. I would just, you know, go up and ACS people.
Looks like you earned
Get
yourself
my
another
stacks in
bounty.
and then,
Well
and
done.
then swap. Maybe now that Heartbreaker is a little bit more competitive, they might look at it. Because my guess, it's likely something like that. Might not be exactly that. I'm actually thinking about it now. We could maybe see about if it's consistent with itself at the very least. So that might be a good test to maybe do. Like if we fire the same weapon, do we always reach 100 stacks at the same time, kind of, or not? Yeah, so we got all of this done, so it's only the UA here. Let's go to Potomac Event Center. We're gonna do it against the Outcast just to get those few Outcast kills in. Because that's the Season Pass daily. That's why I also like this weekly project, and I should actually just use this as their template for them. It's considering but turning on no regen, but honestly, nah. I just want my regen. As we showed in Things and Stuffs recently.
What the hell?
This guy isn't
here. I'll
linked
go
to
check
the
it out.
rest, so yeah, we can just
I'm in. Main
go up
entrance
to
is
him, and
clear.
especially if we kill him with the suppressed weapons, so that, you know, no gunshot. These guys are now still not in
Agent, you
combat
need to
with
cut off
us.
the primary escape
Combat
route.
with us. So.
Take out the boats they've
That way
got
we can
docked
get a lot
southwest of your
closer
position.
before we
I'll
start.
keep an eye on the main entrance and
Start
make sure he
shooting.
doesn't double back.
One of the rare occasions where we can kind of stealth a little. One of the things that I wish would happen is if you actually shoot the enemy that is spread from the Strega, and that it refreshes at least the Strega on them. Because one of the things is that, yeah, sometimes you're kind of spreading, but yeah, the mark goes away before you can really benefit from it. Although really the place where you benefit the most from it is not really, like in missions like this, it's actually not maybe even that good of an idea. It would be much more activities, and you know, when the wave spawns all together, you're marking them all and just, you know, spreading marks and murdering them all.
Defend them at all costs.
Not here
Well,
just
at
to
least
mess
now we
around
know
with
the
them.
strategist is home.
Because I normally as well, I think nowadays this build, I'm either putting a Dark Winter on it or I'm putting a Chameleon on it. That's the two picks I've been running with the most. Because Chameleon is a lot better than these three. And these two have Stellite. I'm just gonna try to get at least a mark on that guy. Especially here, we're not really reaching 3 stacks in a consistent way at all, really.
I'm seeing a lot of hostiles
Because
by the
everyone
docks.
3
They're
stacks or
securing the
more.
boats.
They must be waiting for the order to launch. If the strategist
Often.
gets on one of those boats, we'll lose our chance to bring him in.
Although
Keep
2
moving.
stacks is
You're almost
already
there.
good. 2 stacks is already good. Preferably 3 or more. With the boss fight, we'll get that all.
Immediate medical
That
assistance needed.
also hit me.
One by one.
40 rounds of the fall is also sometimes.
You're almost at the dock.
Especially I'm much
You're
more
not too
used
late.
to like 50 rounds. It just feels it's a little bit empty too soon.
Keep them away from the boat.
So here, yeah, let's get this guy. Then we have actually,
Agent, hostiles are inbound on your
that's
position
2
by the
stacks
docks.
on the
Watch
boat,
your
but that
six.
helps already. Though also long range on the
We need
boat. So.
reinforcements on the
Seeing a
dock.
lot of movement toward the boats,
Take
but
out
no
the
sign of
intruders.
strategy.
Protect the boats.
Let's see, get this guy. A lot of people go down here. There's actually a really easy way to deal with. Because, well, here is gonna just be a red, but in 4-man it's an LMG dude, and he quite often catches people out. But yeah, there's an easy way to CC him there as well.
They're coming at me from all sides. I can't get.
Agent down.
Kelso.
Yay!
Kelso? Shit. Agent Kelso's not responding.
Yay!
Damn it, Kelso.
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
Slater's
I
plans.
like Kelso.
With the boat's out of commission, the target should still be inside.
Station.
We have to make sure he
Not their
doesn't slip
shield and
past
all.
us.
Although I actually put it away way too quickly. Actually get healed. Wait, why is it weird like that? Because it seems to be at full actually, but it's not showing as full. Because I'm actually not healing beyond that point.
Perfect. So predictable. Kill them and feed the burn pit.
Always funny to see how little it spawns here. Solo versus 4-man and stuff. Come on out. Because stuff like this is also something. You have some stacks on the dude, but he needs to come out as well. I put a stack on him. I should have had my shield up. Flame rounds from these guys, unlike the ones from the modifier, they don't actually set you on fire if your shield is taking the hits. Which I feel like they should just make it so with the other ones as well. with the modifier one. There's 120 some blueprints. Yeah, although, well, depends as well if there's all descent or something. Yeah, that might take a while. You're missing, for instance, the season ones, because yeah, some of them you can't get, like Hunter's Fury you can't get, Bellstone currently you can't get. A bunch of the weapons you can't get from previous seasons.
Without Kelso, capturing the strategist
That will
won't be
cut
easy.
that down by a little bit.
It's up to you to finish the job, Agent.
Let's put some flame rats into here.
They'll have to go through the theater. Cut them off and kill them.
But then there's also, for instance, yeah, the raid blueprints and stuff. Okay, don't have those. Those are at least overall faster than the sent ones. There's got Aces, Negotiator, FI, and FB. Let's go for these reds first. Put 2 stacks on that enemy. Just Stellite. But I feel if you're shooting an enemy that has that thing, it should kind of refresh their timer. Just so you can kind of keep it going on some of the bigger enemies.
Was that gunfire? Agent, I didn't send reinforcements. You'll need to clear the building.
Yeah, getting the blueprints done is one of those long-term goals. I don't feel good to have them all. For instance, for the Descent ones, I've done it on 2 accounts so far. Although, of course, I've done that over several seasons. Like, Descent has been out for a while.
I'm not dead.
And
Don't everyone
played
cheer
it
at once.
Wait,
quite a
is
bit.
that Kelso?
My watch broke and I lost comms. Listen, I need you to cover me while I head for the balcony. Then head down to the concert hall.
Thank God. Is Kelso all right?
Away from here. Okay, what we really want to do as well is just... For instance, that LMG dude has a lot more health and armor, so... We'll kill the other things first, put stacks upon him, so we're bonus against him.
Whatever you do, don't let them into the concert hall.
Don't let me into the concert hall. Well, wasn't even going that way, but now I want to go there just to... I was just about to leave.
You really thought I'd just wait for you to assassinate me? Now I've
Boom,
got you right
headshot.
where I want you.
I just set up further back so I can get get by the teeth going, but also it's not needed.
I just wish your suffering could last as long as ours did.
Oh, yeah.
Fire detected.
But here, for instance, we got stuff spawning close to each other. So, for instance, that guy had 2 stacks. This guy's a few stacks, 2 stacks.
Look at you, in your smug arrogance. Do you think you've had enough? That you got the right to kill us? Huh? We've got the power of life and death Use it!
Good luck with that.
Side! Go for that cover! You're so big!
Sometimes they're too far apart to really get good stacks going. Yeah, missions really isn't the home for this thing.
No, please don't hurt me! I'll do whatever you want! I'll tell you everything!
All right, calm down. Stop embarrassing yourself. So we got
At least, yeah,
That was some
maybe in
nice work,
Zeros or
Agent. You
something.
should be proud of yourself. Together was the only way we could have done that.
So actually, yeah, let's go with, as we kind of get that Alia. Oh yeah, that should just fit in. We'll go with Killer instead. Especially when activities, everything kind of, or well, even more so control points and such. Like everything is spawning kind of together and you just get marks going all around. But yeah, you're in missions. Let's so yeah, let's do mission with True Sons, and yeah, we had one in mind right here. Viewpoints, just because it's SMGs. And then we'll finish up with DUA, getting both DUA and for the daily and the weekly. It's just when you're in that middle modifier for CHC. It kind of depends. I generally just put that on and just like, because even for instance this build is like at 60, or well actually no, it wouldn't be at 60, would it? It would be at like 50 something. Let's turn retribution off for a second, because it shows up in here. But yeah, I'm here for instance running 51 without the coyote, and I'm kind of letting that just get me 10. Anything up to 20 you could kind of go with actually. So for instance, the thing is I just don't end up altering my build too much for just modifiers. But at the very least, what you could do is just take your weapon here, and actually I should do that maybe. We'll put 2 crit damages maybe here. Putting 40 up for from this, because the thing to kind of see it as is if you have, for instance, 40, or if you're at 40 and you need just 20 from that, so that means that, because yeah, it goes up and comes back down, right? Although we're not only shooting at mid-range, so that's also kind of like not per se correct. This is not the per se correct way, but at least so 60% of the time, because basically from when it is above 20 all the way to when it's like 50 and all the way back, it's already more than we would need, right? So 60% of its travel is already beyond of what we need. So we just need 40% of it basically to be there. So more than not, it's going to be up. And then together with that as well, we have, of course, shots at long range and short range that do not alter it. So you can kind of, you could push it to maybe to 25 or 30 and still consistently get, especially if your build is like close range setup. But here, for instance, one thing I am going to do is actually get some mid-range shots in, and then kind of most of the time I'm kind of short range. But yeah, retribution could be its own whole rambling talk, basically. I'm just like, but generally I just don't alter my build much for it.
Taking the Viewpoint Museum away from True Sons will
I'm
make
just
it a
too
lot
lazy
harder for them
to
to coordinate their troops and spread
set up
misinformation.
differently.
All communications
So for
coming in
instance, these
and out
guys,
of the
I'm going to
building
shoot them all in
will be controlled
mid-range.
from the production studio on the
Get
top
some
floor.
stacks going
You'll
at the
need to
start
find it
here.
and secure it.
He's down! Fuck! I'm pinned down!
Try to be so, or try to be short range after. I feel kind of that's the
Hostile
especially the
radio
way to kind of look
intercepted.
at it. It's just
This is Wade.
how
So,
much of
the
it
division
would I
thinks they can
need,
just come
and
in here.
like how
They
much
don't know
of
who they're
it
fucking
is
with.
it.
Go dark. Wait for the signal, then corner, and
So yeah,
kill.
for instance, if we're just using 20% of it, like going up and down, if we were to just shoot mid-range, basically, we just need 40% of it. Which means more than not, even if we're just shooting a mid-range, more than not, it would be above the crit chance that we would need. And that's even before like considering as well like interaction with fast hands or killer or something. So you can go really overthink it. But the short answer is not more than 20, I would say. And just also just for instance on Striker, what I just end up doing is not equipping the Coyote and just then. That's kind of fun. Because then, like, we basically have only 20% required from it. So 80% of the time, even if every shot was mid-range, 80% of the time we're above what we need. It's even less because it's 52 usually. So. Let's strike the weekly. Yeah. Want to make sure, yeah, that counted these guys.
They could be in here already. How do you like this?
And kind of this mission setting, this killer definitely feels a lot stronger than Striga.
Electromagnetic charge detected.
Seek and destroy.
But Striga can feel really good. On activities especially. And especially public executions, because it's a pretty big wave that you're kind of dealing with. And we do those quite a bit, so... Surprised as well that they still haven't removed the Christmas hoarder, basically. Although, maybe they're just not in a hurry. But usually by now they would have already patched him back out. Because yeah, they need a patch to get him out. And that also means that just that should be on usually a maintenance day, because they're not going to do that by itself. So for instance, here would be a really good spot for Striga. I would get like those 4. And then this heavy would be easier to kill. Although it's not like killer is lacking any damage there. I still need 2 attack vectors in total as well. We end up using up quite a bit of them. Thing with them is as well, they fit my playstyle quite well. That's why I'm using them as much as I am. And this is the original place for the smiley face.
That must have been Wade.
You might
Would have been nice
see
to
it
bag
sometimes
him, but he's not your
put these
primary
on walls
objective.
and stuff, but
Get
this
to
was
the
always the
TV studio and
spot
get
where I
those
would
guys off the air for
just
good.
put one of these in the wall and then just kind of see what people would do to it in matchmaking. Because yeah, some people would give it a nose, some people would like give it eyebrows or something. And seeing as well, everybody's waiting at that door because we have to kind of wait for Manny's lane to kind of happen. Somebody shoot at me.
Look for the transmission control module. It handles all communications going in and out of viewpoint. If you reset it, you'll lock out the
This
true
place
sun
is
and we
very
can take over the
facing
channels.
dependent.
Okay,
So actually
stay
what
by
I'm
the
gonna do
module
is
and
face
make sure it
this
completes
way.
the reset sequence.
Just continuously face this way. Look at that! Everybody spawned here. What a surprise! That LMG dude, I kind of need to do. Oh, I'm out of ammo. What game?
Serious trauma detected.
How's that like a lag spike of not being able to shoot there? No, I'm just gonna take the full count. I just not grab ammo for a while. Is that what happened there? I made that much more messy than it needed to be.
All site facilities are reset to default or under direct SHD control.
That's good to hear. Our comms are coming online and the true suns are in the dark.
Fluctuations in local power detected. Communications facilities offline.
That's a kind of dick move to not drop me ammo.
I'm seeing multiple hostiles on the
Usually when you're
roof.
low on
They're
ammo, it
setting up
actually goes out of your
jammers around
its
the
way
radio
kind of
mast.
to drop you on
Wade,
ammo.
he's trying to sabotage the mast. Without it, no one can broadcast from viewpoint. Agent, get to the roof. You gotta stop him from taking out the mast.
Because yeah, I stopped my shotgun and just didn't want to fire. Which is usually just a little bit of lag. And I'm invaded of this. There is actually here. There's a you can interact. Next time this place is invaded, I'm definitely gonna come over here and just record for things and stuff. And that is actually kind of want to actually see what's on the others, or like if we can kind of see what is on this.
Wade is using
And then yeah, for here, one of the strats is to not shoot this thing right away. I should have grabbed ammo again.
System
Instead, what I'm gonna do is run all the way here, then shoot this. Because now I'm aggroing those guys. I'm making them run around. So I can shoot both.
You won't be able to use your shade
Get
tech
past,
as long as that
kill
EMP
this one
jammer is
guy.
active. Take it out.
I think that's Stellite without
System
this shot.
reactivated. Electromagnetic charge depleted. System disrupted. System
And
restored.
basically as well, you just don't want to start the fight right away unless you have a really good reason. It's much better to let somebody let them get to that middle part. Or even actually in a group setting, like, you know, you would have one person going for the far one person going for the middle one, and just you wouldn't start shooting
Immediate Medical assistance needed.
Good thing the quick heal worked there, otherwise I would have died. I'll just wait for this fire to go away. Also, my memento regen is not working. Well, that kind of explains actually why I feel why I'm feeling a little. No, because I'm full memento stacks. That health, that armor bar is not moving. Oh, actually, the blues aren't even working.
All right, the facility is ours. True Sun's just lost a powerful
Sometimes
tool
the
for
momentum
coordinating their troops
breaks.
and spouting their horse shit. Once we get the radio mast repaired and
I'll just
operational,
unequip,
we can extend the
re-equip
reach of our own
it.
broadcasts.
Should I actually notice that earlier? It did feel a little fragile, but also, yeah, we've been running around with Hollywood for so long. I'm just like, yeah, everything's, you know. Because likely the weapon damage from it was also not playing. Which also is always awesome. Supply drop of mayonnaise. Didn't know. Did we order some mayonnaise? Who ordered the mayonnaise? But yeah, hey there. Yeah, let's go do DOA as well. Finishing up the daily and the weekly all at once. Getting one more of those in. We've set this one up to be just DOA. We've set this one up to just be Stronghold and mission. Well, Stronghold is a mission, so. And yeah, we'll just run this one.
This is a chance to wipe out the hyena leadership in one decisive blow. Get in there and hunt them down. Every last one of them.
Stellites there. And this Orient rounds do go through the shield. Disrupt in this Orient, I'll go through that. Don't care much about the shield. Let's see if I'm regenning there. Yeah. But also, the blue armor actually works. So, oh yeah, let's grab our. Because we need to fill up our memento again. Let's stop skipping ammo. Hey, actually I wanted to try this. Because we did this one other time. Kind of worked in our favor. Yeah, it doesn't spawn those other two if you run past some of these. So you always have that, like, you have a sniper in the back, you always have that one rusher that kind of walks in. This here on this end, it was now just two enemies. We kind of ran into that with backfire. I was messing about with backfire and trying to like run past, turn around, shoot those guys just to keep stacks up in the back, but it's one of those places as well where we can kind of skip a few enemies in that way. Although it's like so minor, right? Doesn't matter. It's all need to go away. Maybe I just put his turret next to that other turret, but then also behind the thing. Also, sir, sir. Stop! Oh, stop taking cover on top of the mini. I feel this is a little bit of a TOS violation. Not only is it very long, he has multiple. Barrels, barrels. Get your head out of the gutter. I'm just talking about his barrels. Yeah. Let's Let's take a screenshot of that. His legs are even standing on top of the boxes. I feel this would be one way for a hyena to kind of fire this, right? They would actually do it this way. Just minigunning it out. Yeah. He's, you know, he leans a little left. Actually, yeah. He's happy to see me. He has a minigun in his pocket and he's happy to see me. This is the paprika. Or some fries. We could go for some fries. Yeah, let's actually take a screenshot of this as well. Yeah. I am, in fact, a child. Actually, wait, I'm curious as well. He took cover on top of it. Can we some way glitch up there as well? Let's grab one of these mementos before my memento runs out. It also really looks as well like we're just grabbing him like on the butt. Oh, nice there. Oh, hey, we're oh, huh. Oh. Hey. Sure, why not? Let's actually maybe add this one to things and stuffs. Would actually be funny to have two people when we do it with things and stuff, and the other one firing it, just giving us hot feet. Oh, yeah, let me add this to things and stuff real quick, and then we'll keep going. Just to the because we'll get the segments later. Again in the UA. Actually, yeah, let's get that other screenshots in here as well. Just putting that in the Discord channel there just for future use. Which one do I want to go with? Let's go with that one. Fuck it. There we go. Yeah. Just save that for later. Yeah. Why is this a thing? Oh yeah, it's definitely one of those like things and stuff things. The castle, yeah. Wait, actually, yeah, can I blind fire from that position? That is a good question. Watch it now not let me get up there anymore. But actually, I think I can just vault even up there. Almost look like. I don't know. It's actually. So. It's funny that, yeah. Wants to do it. Actually, yeah. Oh, I can stand on top of it, even. So, what is the easiest way? Actually, the other side's easier. It's mostly we're kind of in its hitbox. So when we kind of... It's kind of finicky. Might find a better way for it. So what happens if I just... No, first. That wouldn't work. But what if I try to just cover to where that middle spot is? Oh, okay. So yeah, that's the way. Yeah. That's some blind fire, right? Slightly exposed, but it's fine. And then you can actually release even cover and just... surf the minigun. That's actually a cool visual. That would actually be a good visual to use for that. Just have somebody fire the minigun and just be standing on top of it surfing, basically. Oh yeah, we can double fire. I feel I should just do breakdance moves on top of it while somebody's firing it as like the intro for things and stuffs. For the next things and stuffs. And actually covering is like easy to get up. At least, well, I didn't try it a bunch there, but the first time worked, so it at least worked once.
Down one.
Just need to hold it a little longer.
Ah, this is gonna feel good. Ah, this is it. Got you now.
Oh, she of course used her spice. She got her health back.
Local power offline.
I was like, she's on a sliver. Let's go melee her, but yeah, she of course spiced up afterwards. She got spicy.
Don't try to run.
I'm right here.
So we got the loot in the middle. We can get the resources back there.
Better not be some.
Oh, actually, you know what I think would be a good visual with that as well? I wonder how that thing will look if you're doing the light the way, right? I feel the minigun will be kind of in a certain spot at that point, and if somebody's firing. Also, yeah, we should totally put this table and things and stuffs. Should I actually check if this is a checkpoint, and if we maybe do it on, you know, challenging or something, we can just grab the checkpoint. Does the reduction? Yeah, the reduction also applies to his shield. Oh, that makes sense actually, because it's his underlying stats applying to his shield, right? Because I just never even thought about that per se, but yeah, it makes sense that the shield is the same stellite as the enemy holding it. This orient thing sucks. But 25% XP.
We're set up in the mall.
Oh,
They're not getting through here. Don't die, motherfucker.
5 times XP, of course, is a little more than 25%. Yeah, we should try to really try like light the weight on top of it, and then see if we can line it up. Okay, that guy has stellite as well. Bosses having stellite is always kind of painful. Especially when I like could go and try to break the stellite, but it just burned through it.
Won't let me die.
Oh, we're not gonna get the upstairs wave. I'm solo. Did you shoot at me? Just so I know who you are, where you are, what you're doing. Oh.
Still there, sweetie? Hello? Fuck. Everybody get yourselves ready. This situation is serious.
Super serious. Actually, seeing as we're doing the UA ones, let's also do this one. How will we even name this? Because one of the things is, as I discovered accidentally, because here, if you like the balls, if your camera can enter them basically, but when they're shiny like this, they're not opaque. When you actually like break it, it is actually opaque, and this can be super annoying when you're trying to shoot here. Opaque balls. DUA once shot and block view. We'll put this one, and then we'll put this one. Just for reminder as myself, because I will come and record those in the future, but just to save them up. Yeah, already looted onto the garage. It's always annoying when you get rogues here, because on normal DUA, on the not invaded DUA, you don't have a fight here. So when it's rogues here, it's not even as a replacement fight, it's just an added fight. If the targeted is good, right? Yeah, let's actually use all out here. Should actually, I should maybe first get a few shots in. So our retribution is kind of outside of the right range that I would want it to be. So let's maybe actually get some medium range shots in. And then let's trigger it. Because it's raining outside, it's not showing. when enemies. So this is what we're gonna do: burn through enemies.
Diesel, what's going on down there? Diesel, are you dead too, you inbred son of a bitch? Everybody get to the arena now!
Nice thing about all that, it lasts for pretty long. But you need to get a kill for it and stuff, which is kind of the downside. But also, yeah, it's not hard to get that long range kill, right? If you are set up with by the teeth.
Safe levels. Filters failing.
And yeah, on this one, it's best to just look at your bar and kind of hold F the second it goes off your bar. Because otherwise, yeah. It does that, you're not quick enough, basically.
Air filter function restored. Air quality acceptable.
Listen up. We got devils in our house and they mean to kill us all. Stand and fight. You hear me? Stand and fight!
Actually, maybe I should do this one as well, actually. If we're doing a bunch of DUA ones. Might kind of do like with Potomac, a bunch of DUA ones all together. Dark room.
Airborne toxins at unsafe levels. Filters
Lights
failing.
before UA bus. Right. How did I mess that word up that much? Yeah. Let's have just darkness as our yeah. Yeah, let's go. Murder our boss here, finishing up our daily or weekly together. that rushing away from me. Because sometimes there's like set waypoints. Capital is like the famous one as well. But this last wave on this as well, it just pulls all the enemies to that side. Like enemies will completely ignore you and just run towards here. Capital as well, whenever you like finish the first when you finish the first like sitting in a circle, getting the SAMs down. This guy's Stellite, killing him a lot slower.
Taking out the hyena leadership leaves the faction in disarray. I'll send teams to start securing the supplies and the equipment those bastards were hoarding. And I'll let Odessa know. The theater settlement will be able to rest a little easier now.
Total of 4 exotic components. We'll take those. How many am I up to? I should actually just upgrade a few stuff. Oh, it's 13. I have enough to upgrade a few. Although yeah, it's also the SHC requisition and field recon. Although we have some remaining. Well, actually now we have a ton of watch points again. Actually, due to that 3 times XP. But yeah, that's also going to be it for me for the afternoon, because we're gonna go and get that video stitched together and try to get it up actually before evening stream. But also I need to do a few. Need to go into work for a little bit and just do a bunch of stuff there. So, but yeah, let's get fully cleaned up here. We'll go raid on the Twitch end as we always do. And then I'll be back in the evening afterwards. I was actually, I need to full screen running, not full screen for the lab now. If this was a normal MG5, I would have kept it. I actually do need a few of those as well, but less high priority than. Because the MG5 definitely beats out the infantry MG5 by a decent amount. But yeah, we'll leave it there. We got a bunch of stuff done. A weekly descent. We got another video in the bag as well, which will go up actually this evening. At worst, it'll go up tomorrow if I don't have enough time in between. But also already we've recorded the pistol one, which will follow that up. And actually this evening we're gonna record the MMR one, because that one is also fully done for a while. We'll record this video and already kind of put it in the bag just for because the next 2 weeks is going to be pretty busy for me kind of work-wise during the day. I'll still be most of the, I'll be on the evenings, but during the days I won't have much time to prepare anything and stuff. But also once these videos are kind of done, I can kind of forget about them. And then we still have character 4 and 5 for the build updates to kind of do. And then we're kind of free from those series that we kind of are saving up here. Because also, yeah, once I kind of have already a bunch of stuff in my head for those, which I can then just kind of let go and just we can start thinking about new things, like working on some guides and stuff again, which I'm kind of looking forward to. But for now, let's go raiding. We'll go with our dear friend, of course, Thirsty, who's doing some community countdowns. Surprising to actually see him countdown. Wasn't expecting that ever. But yeah, we'll send everybody over there. I'll be back in the evening. That's going to be in like 4 hours time. And yeah, we're going to record the MMR video, kind of play around. And then tomorrow I won't be around at all. Tomorrow I'll be working. Saying that right? Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah. Tomorrow I won't be around. I'll be working, but then I'll be back on the weekend. And then what I want to do is especially Sunday gonna spool up to do the Lengmo Pestilence build showcase and record that. But what we might do even is Saturday do character 4 already as well. Just I want to get a bunch of videos ready and just kind of save them up and use them a little bit as a buffer as well now that I have a little bit of time. But yeah, for now, let's go raid Toasty on the Twitch end. I'll be back in a little bit, and we'll continuing on. I'm just waiting for the timer to run out, and then I'll just say thank you all for joining me. Hope you guys had some fun, and I'll catch you guys and gals around. And as always, have a good day.